Hey everyone, it's Rhonda here from Nelson Soapery. Today I thought I would do a video on showing you all how I get my product photography looking so good. I do get lots and lots of questions about how I actually take all of the photos and so on. So I'm going to start by showing you exactly how I do it. So we're going to be filming on an iPhone. This is an iPhone Pro Max. So it is quite a new one, but you can also use an iPhone 8. That's what I used to use before, and probably many in between because they have some great cameras on them. And, you know, if you have a good camera, of course, you can take some of this away with you as well. But I've never owned a really good camera. They're so expensive, so I really don't buy one. And I know when you're first starting, it's really hard because, you know, every cent comes into making soap and the materials. So, but you know, a really important thing people forget is you do need great photography. Without it, people aren't going to buy your products. So today we're going to start with doing it the cheap way. So we've got here, all this is a yoga mat. And this yoga mat is like in a matte finish. So this is going to be like our backdrop that will pop our products on. And on the opposite side of the yoga mat is black. So that way you've got two colors in one. You can also use fabric. There's so many things that you can use, you know. Just have a look around, a box behind it, crates behind it, wooden sticks, leaves behind it. There's so many things you can do. But let us get started and I'll show you exactly how I do my photos, and I'll actually go into the settings and how I play around with the settings on a photo as well. So we'll take a few photos and then we'll actually play with those so I can show you how to lighten them. And do remember too though, when we're lightening them, we still need to keep them the same color because you don't want to show somebody this beautiful, you know, greeny colored candle that I've made and make it look blue, because then they'll get it and they'll say, well, hey, that's not what I bought. I wanted, you know, blue because I see blue. So make sure it is still the same color. And which of course I always do, but you know, you do need to play around with lighting, and to every single monitor will give you a different image or a different color. So that's really important, and just do a disclaimer on your website about that as well. But anyway, let's get started and I will show you exactly how I do this, and we'll be filming the whole thing on this iPhone. And I really hope this does help all of you, because I do get quite a few questions, like I said, about it, and what's a cheap, affordable way to actually take photos, or even YouTube. You know, you don't have to start all these YouTube videos with the best camera in the world. To be really honest, I actually take all of my YouTube on this iPhone that we're going to be talking about now, which is the Pro Max, because the camera is so good. Look, you know, it is not, I'm not going to say it is the best camera in the world, of course not. But, you know, if that's how you're starting, that's how you're starting. And as you all know, I'm a baby channel. So, so for anyone that's new, my name is Rhonda, and we talk all about soaping, business, candle making, and how we can create some gorgeous things, gorgeous photos, and a little bit of business thrown in the mix to support each other. So let's get going, everyone, and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do it. All right, everyone, so we're here and getting started. As I said before, we are going to be having this match that I've showed you, and I will actually pop some links down below for you. So this is some of the things we need. So we will need one of these, and next we'll need a few props. So I just used some props similar to this. So all this is just a fake piece of coral. I'll show you a few things, and then of course we need our product that we're going to show. Make sure it's labeled and exactly how you want it to look. So we've got our products here. I usually take 2 or 3 of the products just to show you, and then of course, like I said, some more props. So these are the props we'll have. The best prop in the world that I can tell you that I use is one little piece of fake leaf, and you'll often see that I wrap this around products, but I'll show you how I do that. And then, of course, if, you know, like for instance in here, I do have these little cornflowers. So we need these so that we can scatter them on the mat, so I can show you exactly how these ones are going to look. And, of course, just some fake plants. So we'll have some of those in there. And just some lids, because we can actually pop products sideways on the lids, which they're actually a really good idea as well. and then a glass container, because what you can actually do with something that's glass is if you pop it upside down, you can actually put products on it. It gives it height and you can still see behind it. So that's actually a really, really, you know, that's a really clever thing you can do. And I also have things like this. It's just like a little wooden pear, but these things are really good as well because, you know, it gives a gorgeous, you know, rustic kind of look with this. And for any of you that don't know, I've actually studied interior design, and so that's why I do understand a little bit about this as well. So that's what we'll kind of be doing. And of course, I just have little things like this that are super cute. And of course, lots of greenery. Greenery definitely makes everything come together. So we've got our props going here. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to be setting up our area here. And then once we've set this up, we'll actually start organizing our photos. The first thing to do is creating a theme. Then we're going to set the whole thing up here and putting all the products together, take the photos, and after the photos are taken, then we will start to go back into the phone, play with the settings, and I'll show you exactly how I do that as well. Another thing to really think about is, for instance, if we're going to be taking photos of this, we want to have other products that match it, that are consistent. So we'll do a bit of a theme on these green products. So you can see these all have these beautiful mint kind of colors in them. So there's a few here, and I just thought this would be better to show you all the different products that are similar. The same as this is an Australian one. Koalas are from Australia. So, and this has sort of the natural leaves, like Australian leaves that people know of. Because in Australia we have lots of lavender and wild flowers that just naturally grow. So this would be a whole theme that you could actually do together if that's what you were selling and you wanted to sell that point. So anyway, let me get this next bit set up and I will show you exactly what we're going to do. All right, so we're back, everybody. So what I'm going to be doing now is I do have these old boxes and we need something so that we can prop up all of the vinyl on them. So we're just going to pop these on the bench. You can do this on a kitchen table or whatever. It doesn't need to be super fancy. And then all we're going to do is just get our vinyl and we will drape it over the top. So this is all it needs to do. Don't worry about these edges because we're not going to be filming those. And you can just wipe down these vinyl ones as well, which is really, really handy. And if you can see this, it kind of just rolls up so it all looks like it's one big piece. So then from here, what we're actually going to be doing is we're just going to get all of our products. But I'm going to get my daughter Annie to come in and hold it so then you can see exactly what we'd be doing. And it's so easy to actually work with when she actually holds her hand up with the product, and you can see how gorgeous it's going to look. So let me just get her and I'll be back in one moment. All right, everyone, we're back. So this is my daughter, Annie, and as I said, she does have beautiful fingers, not like my hand-bitten fingernails. So when we're taking a photo, all we would be doing is literally getting close, and you don't need to see anything else but the white background. So, and then of course later on we can take that photo and we can play around with it. So we will take this photo and then I'm actually going to show you how we're going to edit it, but I will also do a few different product pictures as well. All right, everyone, so now we actually do have our beautiful screen all set up here. So what we're going to do, like I said, is we do have the vinyl sitting here and it's on the top of the boards that we had. You can just put anything there you like. We just really need a backdrop for it. So now once we've done this, we're going to get the products and a few different things to pop in. So let me find some props, and I'm sorry if my hand gets in the way. So this one here is also just something from my local supermarket. So a lot of this is just playing around, making sure that we're getting everything in here that sits right and works together. So a lot of it is, like I said, just playing around with products, and you can already see how this is starting to look really, really good. And, you know, like you can put these leaves or anything, but this is too much to have two things there. So I'm going to just grab a couple things here. So, of course, I do have, like I said, my little candles that are sitting here as well. And then what I'm going to be doing is just popping these in here so they can even sit on an angle. It doesn't have to sit exactly perfect. Or we might actually just put that one there and then this one can sit similar to this here. And sometimes you can even put blue tack or things like that under the bottom, a bit of sticky to hold them in place. And I'm going to go and grab a tiny bit. I know, look, it's actually sitting perfect now. And with this bit here, I'm actually just going to get something to pull it up in the air. So we will find something over here. I had to search over the other side. So like this is just a simple glass, sorry. And all it is we're just going to sit it upside down, and then this can sit on top. Now, there is a reason that we're using a glass, because you don't want to be able to see anything. And by popping this up, it allows us to work a little bit closer with everything else. And we can just pop that in front and just make sure the leaves aren't on most of the tags. And you can already see how this is starting to look really cute, and it is a part of it. So if you just wanted the candles, you could literally just keep it like this and just move your leaves to however you want them to sit. You'd snap your picture on that one there. Or if you wanted to do a whole thing of this particular green color, you could also add in this little green candle with it, and, you know, just add in a few extra bits as well. One thing that is really, really good to add in is if you're using like a botanical like this has on it, just to get some of the botanical leaves, and we'll just kind of scatter them around, which I'm going to do. So in my container here, I just have some of these little botanical leaves. And so if you see them in here, there's just a few in here. And all we're going to do is just like scatter a couple here. We might just, you know, pop them all around, because then this is going to give the look that we actually want. And it is all about, you know, just getting the perfect styling look, isn't it? And another thing that I did see, one of the other girls online that's a photographer, I did see that she actually put some glycerin in a container, and she, with the glycerin, what she actually did is she popped that on the container and with some water. So then she just sprayed it over. So if I wanted these leaves to look like there was water all over them, that's the next thing that I would actually do. So it is just really, really clever, these little tricks that you can do to create something absolutely amazing. So while we've got us all here, I'm going to actually do that and pop a little bit in a container so I can show you. So we've just got a little container like this. I'm just going to pop some water from my distilled water bucket in here. It doesn't have to be distilled water. You could just have normal water out of the sink. It's not really that important. But for this particular thing, I'm just going to pour some in here. And then I would just get my glycerin. So a vegetable glycerin, and you can also get that at the supermarket. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. I mean, obviously I have soaping ones, being a soaper. But it doesn't have to be a soaping one, so don't worry too much about that. So let me undo this container. So that's all this is some glycerin. We'll just pop some in here. Give it a bit of a shake. And I did forget that my little container was not happy the other day working. So I'm just going to get another thingy. going to just get nice and close so you can see. And if you can see the little droplets that we have created on there, and it really does look so pretty. So what we're going to do from here is get some photos happening, and then you'll be able to see. So, make sure you shoot from lots of different angles as well. This video. So now what we're going to be showing here is pretty much just all of these, which this is just some wax melts. If you can see, I'm holding some up high, some down low, and then this one here, you might actually be taking a film more here or here just to get these images in, but I think it definitely needs something here, so we'll find something to pop onto that side as well. So let me just grab something, and you can see that it's actually looking quite nice even from a distance, but you do need to add in everything else as well. And you just hold it up the top or down below and see, and I actually think that looks really cute. So that is the photo that I would use. And especially for social media, you just got to think about it. You don't want it to look like it's just thrown in there, and you might even just go, well, I'll take that side, or I'll take that side there. And then your photos can really come together. We are back, so we are going to just turn it around and have a look in here and take a few photos, which I have already done in here as well for you. And so then all we're going to be doing is literally just seeing what we actually want. And if you just put your hand on the screen, and if you can see that little yellow sun, all that's doing is actually it's going to lighten the photo for us. So don't worry about all the messy bit in the background, because we can fix that up later. We're going to cut all that out later. I take lots of photos, and I'm not super fussy about it because I know I can fix this up at a later date. But do make sure you take a few, leaving lots and lots of the background in, so that way we can play with it later. So now we have this one. We're going to work on our first one to start with. So on the screen here, I do actually have this one here, and all we're going to do is I'm literally going to edit it. So just go into edit, and then for edit we want to crop it. So all my photos are done in a square. So if you've seen, I've just pushed the top and the square here, and then all we're going to do is move it. But we can see this daggy background, so we want to get rid of that. So we will just crop this to however we want and move the photo around and crop it from all the different angles, not just one. And don't be scared to cut anything out if you don't like it, because you do need to keep quite a bit of light room as well. So we know that one's good. We're happy with that. If we push this particular one here, this is going to give us vivid. I always make mine go into vivid. And then from vivid, what I do is I keep that, and then I'm going to go into auto, and I'm going to change the settings. So this little star here, if you push on that and touch any corner, it will change the lighting for you. So we know that one's good. So what I do is I literally go to each one and play with each setting. So all you're going to do is literally just move it, and you can see that's dark, and then we go to light. And so just literally play around with these settings, and you will be amazed how good the photo is going to look. So this one, I often put a little shadow onto mine. My favorite one is the brightness, because the brightness can make it bright or dark. And we will keep it at this. I'm happy with that photo. So now what I'm going to do is just say done, and that photo is done. And so then it has saved that for me. We will go on to the next one, and so on. And this is what I do for all of mine. I actually just go into every single photo. It does take time, but every photo I go into and I start to edit it. So once again, we're just going to go into edit here. Push the crop button, that's the most important, and make it into a square. The squares just make it look more modern. And do remember, you don't want every picture to be exactly the same. If you do what I am doing in this one here, you might sort of go, well, I'm not happy with that. We'll cut some things out, and you might just want a bit more of a close-up of something. So if you look at this, this is actually a really nice close-up of everything. And then once again, we'll just go into vivid and we will just keep lightening it. Sometimes I just go into the bright. So that one there, all I've done is literally go into bright, and we will add a tiny bit of contrast in. You can also use your portrait setting when you're taking a photo as well. So I will show you that into this bit here. So I'm just going to go, and then we're going to take another photo. So instead of doing that, we'll just push portrait. And what portrait does is it will literally block out the background, and it will give a blurry background. So I will show you exactly how I do that. The only thing is you need to be really still and stay there for quite a few minutes. And I keep the natural light on, but you can also do this one, which is a studio light. And now this is telling us this is what we've taken in this. And if you have a look at it, it's blurred the background really gorgeous. But, you know, you may not like that, because I can see that the sticker does have a little bit of that kind of, you know, like a light on the sticker, which I wasn't rapt about. So then I might actually decide to change that. But for the purposes of this, we will just go in and, like I said, literally just alter this photo. Like I said, always go to vivid. Vivid just gives a bright one to start with. And it just can give a really nice photo. And you don't want every photo to be crisp and perfect either. So another thing that I will actually show you what I do on mine is we'll go, and I'm just going to move these out the way for a minute. And we'll actually go to something else. We'll put another photo in here. Because I already have my leaves here, we're not going to change much of that bit actually. But we will actually put something else in here just so that we can show you the look of how it's all going to look and how it can look really amazing. And here we are. So we do have something here. So what I've done is I've literally filled it up. So this is just a body butter, which is a two-toned body butter. And rather than just leaving it look all crazy, we've turned this to the black. And then, of course, we're going to just be putting a little bit of greenery in here. So it's just like a plant on its side. And then we'll pop this one in the front. If you wanted, you could pop the lid next to it. But usually what I do is sit it on top of the lid just to give it a little bit more height. So we've got this one here, and now what we're going to be doing is just doing a thing that's called like a little smudge. So on here, because we're trying to sell the body butter, for instance, so what we're going to do is we just have a bit of a smudge here. So this is just a little bit of extra body butter, and all we're going to do is literally just pop it down like that. And that way it shows everyone how amazing this actually looks. And it's like a big smudge of, like I said, you know, of your product. And it just makes it look really cute. And then people know exactly what they want. So from here, we're actually going to get a spoon. So let me go get a spoon and I'll come back. So this is my baby spoon. This one is very tiny and it's not a normal spoon. It's a plastic one, and all you can do is something like that, and that just gives it that really next kind of look that we might be wanting. And we can just move this back. If you don't want this white piece in it, just move it back and just sort of play around. Remember, we can cut it off to here as well. So we can cut that bit off, and then that's how it's going to be framed. So then all we're going to do, like I said, is just bring it to about here. We will take the photo. So let me just go and take the photo, and then that way we can play around with that, and then I'll show you how to do that as well. And this is exactly how it looks. If you want, you could also put some activated charcoal, or another thing, because charcoal is messy, you could actually put something else that represents charcoal, like something black. Might just be, you know, a little bit of paint or something that looks black as well, just to give it that look. And then of course you can see how cute this is and all the different angles that you can take some photos with. And what, like I said, once we take the photo, then we'll go in and we will edit it. So let me just play around with this. I will edit it and I'll show you how I'm going to edit this as well. And you can just see how cute that would look. I mean, that would look absolutely beautiful on social media as well. So yeah, do make sure, you know, that you practice around. Like I said, you can have an iPhone. You don't have to have a fancy camera. Because, like, you know, we don't all have those fancy ones, do we? And also another thing you can do is I'll take away that greenery, and I just have these, like, hydrangea flowers. They're just false ones, if you can see that. And then all you can do is just pop them at the back, and it's exactly the same. If you can see here, I push it down because it actually pushes the flower down, and then in your background it can look more like this instead of the greenery. And, you know, like I said, once again, take all your photos and things like that. You might even want a peach color because the top of this color is that gorgeous peach. And yeah, like I said, I mean, look how cute that looks. If you wanted a plain one, you could also just do that. I do advise that you just keep also a plain one on your website so people can see exactly what the product is and what you're selling. So if this was a unicorn one, you might want to put a unicorn toy or something like that in it. So it's nice and easy as well. And let me just grab something else and I'll show you that. So all this thing is here. We'll just move this out the way for a moment. So all this is a false piece of coral. We'll just pop that in there. And then, of course, we could pop this one in here. And then it looks really cute. And then, of course, I would usually add some sort of greenery or something just at the front. And then this is what it would look like. And it depends how you want the greenery. You can wrap it around here as well. But, you know, it's just all a bit of play, isn't it, to see exactly what you like. For a different look, I thought I would actually show you how I changed the background. So I've left all the black, and then just at the back of it, all I've done is added this honeycomb packaging. So it just adds a bit of a natural look. So if you wanted to break the black, you could just drop over some white paper. You know, like I said, this honeycomb thing, it might be, you know, like a denim kind of material or something just to make the background look quite different. I've left everything else quite the same, but I played with this quite a bit, and I also played with adding the white marble over the top of the black because I did have two pieces. Like I said, this was originally a yoga mat, but I have actually cut it in half so that I have two doubles to work with. All right, everyone, so it is at the end of the day. I have actually taken all the photos, filmed everything. I'll pop this up for everybody, and I really, really do hope that this helps some of you and inspires you to maybe just have a go at taking your own photos. You know, look, to be really honest, I think my photos are quite good and, you know, quite website worthy. I mean, maybe they're not magazine worthy, but that's okay. I'm not a photographer. I'm just, like I always say, a one-woman band, just trying to make my business successful and trying to find ways that actually do help me and also help everyone else that's watching my channel, because that's what this channel is all about, is just trying to help each other succeed the best we can. And we all know that, you know, photography is very expensive, and a lot of us just don't have that money at the start or even in the middle. So anyway, but like I said, for now, I really do hope it has helped. If you think my video is worthy, make sure you give me a thumbs up at the end, and any comments, because comments and thumbs up do really help my channel, and it helps other people to see us and see what we can all do as a community. And last but not least, in finishing, I have to say a massive, massive thank you to all of you. I can't really can't believe how far this little channel has got. At the start, I did say I'd get excited if I had 50 or 100 followers, and now there is much more than that. And many beautiful, lovely ladies and gents that send me some really nice messages and comment on my videos, and everyone is really positive, which is really, really nice. So make sure you all pat yourself on the back for doing an amazing job, because it is not easy to be a business person, to do your taxes, you know, to make soap, to sell soap, to be a creator and advertiser, because we are all of those things wrapped in one. But anyway, I will finish for now, and I will see you back in a few more days, and I hope you love the videos that I'm doing. But if there's something you want me to talk about, make sure you tell me exactly what that is. I do know that I will in time have one coming on Canva, and how I actually create my labels for candles, because I do have a lot of people asking me about that. So I promise you, I definitely will have that one coming soon. But for now, I will say goodbye, and I will see you in a few days' time. Bye, everyone.